At home with the Richbergs, offering strategies to conquer life with love, joy, and laughter, with co-hosts C. Natasha and Erica Richberg.
We are a mother and daughter duo who want to share with you our experiences with one another, with Erica being the eldest child in our two-parent home. Erica's father and I have been married for 42 years, and people ask Erica's father and I all of the time, what is the secret of our marriage success? So we wrote a book about it. Erica has 2 successful IVF experiences that resulted in 2 beautiful grandchildren of mine. They her children with my grandchildren first. I'm sorry. And so we also co-wrote a book, Erica and I, about her beautiful IVF experience. Now, we have our shares of up and downs like any other family, and despite the difficult times, we've been able to find some laughter and light in our heartfelt experiences, and we welcome you, our listeners, to our discussions, and prayerfully, we will be able to share these conversations with you so you can share them with others. Episode 1. Separating what you can and can't control. This episode helps us discuss with you those things in life that may be unsettling, those things that happened to you that were out of your control. For example, if your favorite teacher was fired and you couldn't control that, or your sport team loses and you just feel out of control, or if you find out in life evil people continue to win. How do you manage that heartbreak? Erica, tell me about things that happened in your life that you felt were out of your control.
Well, the inability to conceive, that was a big not in my control situation. And what I did was I had a timeline or a cutoff time for when I was just going to give up if I couldn't do it. But during that time, I just tried everything I could do to have my babies. And I just kept seeing specialists and, getting things cleared out for it to happen. And Jesus let it happen.
But what part of it made it feel like it was out of your control? And then how did you deal with the fact that you could not control it? Because a lot of people have that problem.
Well, the fact that it was out of my control is my period kept coming. So every month my period came, so that wasn't in my control.
Okay.
And then, so my period comes, I'm not pregnant, so I had to go to the doctor. So that was what I could control.
Okay.
Going to the doctor and trying to get knowledge for my situation. And then when I saw my doctor and he said, well, we're just going to look and see what's going on. And then he said, well, you have your tubes leaking, so we're going to remove them. And so that was knowledge, so that kind of gave me a little bit of control. But then I still was out of control because once the tubes were gone, how was the sperm going to get where it had to go? So I just had to trust that the process was going to lead to the result that I wanted.
And so if I hear what you're saying, you started to trust the process.
Yes.
And you put together a plan. And your plan is what you could control. It was the outcome you could not control.
Yes.
So you learned to separate your planning from the outcome. Very good. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of times in life, things happen to us that we did not predict. And I always say to people, just look at, could you control it? And if you can't control it, what you can control is how you deal with it.
Yes, how you view the situation is what you can control. And so instead of being sad, which I initially was, then I got determined. And I was just like, okay, this didn't work, we're going to do this. This ain't work, we're going to do that. And that's what helped me get through it.
And so being in control means that you at least have an aspect of it that you know you can focus on, that you know you can do your best in. And the outcome, you can't always control that, but you can actually control the process you take to get to the outcome.
Yes.
And one thing about you that I like, what's one thing that changed in your life about wanting to control the process? What did you do with your attitude?
What did I do with my attitude? What do you mean?
You know what you told me your purpose in life has been to be what when you deal with people?
I just want to be a light. Like, I really want to encourage others, and I feel like I go through what I go through to be a help to others. God trusted me to be strong enough to deal with the heartbreak so that somebody else wouldn't have to deal with it. So my purpose in life is when I do have experiences is to be open and transparent about those experiences to help others through those experiences.
And that's a beautiful lesson learned. So what we want to do with the audience is leave words of encouragement. You can control you. You can't control the hurt. You can't control what happened, but you can control the impact of why it happened. Mm-hmm. Why did this happen to me? Is so I can be a light for others. Yep. Why did this happen to me? Because if I find the doctor I want, then maybe I will hear something that helps me stay in the race. And so, though you can't control the outcome all of the time, but you can control being happy.
Absolutely.
You can control joy.
Yep.
And so for the listening audience, you can control you.
All right, so Mommy, so when was there a time in your life where there was a situation that you had no control over?
There was a time in my life, in my professional life, when a group of people thought it in their best interest to lie on me. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't control that. I couldn't control what they said. I couldn't control what they did. But what I could control is how I responded to it.
Mm-hmm. So how did you respond?
When people lie, I say nothing. I do not have to address a lie because the truth will rise.
I like that strategy. So silence.
Silence. I say nothing.
Okay, and so then what was the outcome of that scenario?
I just think the truth must have rose. Because the people who came at me with the accusation, I said, I'm not addressing it. It's a complete lie. Those same people gave me outstanding awards. They gave me freedoms that I never had before and accolades of the highest authority. Mm-hmm. So they didn't apologize, but they treated me like a queen.
That's good.
And I tell people all the time, when people lie on you, you say nothing.
You don't have to defend a lie.
I never defend a lie.
Because the truth will rise.
The truth will rise, and you have to feed a lie. So that's my story on what I can and what I can't control. You can't control if people lie.
Yeah, that's hard for me. That's very hard. But yeah, that's true. Just walk in silence. You don't have to defend what you know is true. Because the truth will rise. And in order to lie, you just got to keep lying. I mean, you know.
You got to feed it.
Yeah.
Yep. And the truth will rise and silence is golden. Say nothing. I know that is hard for you.
It's very hard. I got to have the last word. But I've learned in my old age how to not have the last word anymore. But it took a while to get there.
Yeah. So that's my story of what I can and can't control.
I like it.
Good. Thank you. This is C. Natasha Richburg.
And this is Erica Michelle Richburg. You're listening to At Home with the Richburgs, offering strategies to conquer life with love, joy, and laughter. This is a CNR Ministries production, the podcast At Home with the Richburgs, offering strategies to conquer life with love, joy, and laughter. Recorded at Stages Music Arts, Studio A. Audio copyright 2025 by C. Natasha Richburg. All rights reserved.